Čaute Fuzáci, práve sa nachádzame na južnej časti Srí Lanky, asi 1000 metrov od oceánu v časti Gal. Nachádzame sa na mieste, kde sa vyrába slávny biely čaj a máme tu pána Hermana, ktorý je majiteľ celého tejto krajiny a povie nám troška o tom bielom čaji, ako to vzniklo a celú tú históriu. So, welcome, Mr. Herman. Once again, thank you very much for helping us and telling us the whole story and everything about the tea. It's a really big pleasure for us. I would just like to ask, so what's the history of the tea? As you said, in 5th and 6th century,
Yeah, we make all the teas that the people in the world are accustomed to drinking. Plus, we make one tea that we like to think we are the only people in the world who make it.
Takže odtiaľto sa produkuje čaj, ktorý ide do celého sveta a ktorý konzumujú ľudia z celého sveta, plus robia ešte jeden druh čaju, ktorý si oni dovolia povedať, že je jeden z tých najlepších a jeden, ktorý nikde inde nevyrábajú.
It is the white tea. It is a tea completely untouched by hand. And the story goes that during the 5th and the 6th centuries AD, the Chinese mandarins are said to have employed virgins to cut the white tea with golden scissors. It is said to have fallen into a golden bowl, and it was given as a tribute to the emperor.
Takže vlastne celá história vznikla v Číne, kedy počas 5. a 6. storočia sa tento čaj pestoval iba pre kráľa a pestoval sa takým spôsobom, že čaj sa zbieral, sa strihal zlatými nožnicami, dával sa do zlatej misky a mohli ho odstrihávať iba mladé ženy, ktoré boli vlastne panny.
And they say the only part of the human body that touched the tea were the lips of the emperor when he drank the tea.
A vlastne hovorí sa, že jediná časť tela, ktorá sa dotkla toho čaju, boli pery toho kráľa.
Yeah. Now I couldn't understand why all this clinical method of picking. And when I was asked to make this tea, I was a little reluctant to do so. Till I went to Grasse in France. There we met a very old man, an 80-year-old man who was a perfumier. And that man had 10 or 15 small parcels of jasmine flowers. Very small parcels. I asked him, what is the need for you to have the same flower in such small quantities from different parts of the world? So he said, yes. These flowers are both genetically and botanically the same. But they are so distinctly different one from the other. I asked him, what is the difference? He said, the difference is in the smell of the sweat from the hands of the pickers. So then I asked, I couldn't figure that out. He said, if you like, you can mix up these flowers in whatever way you like. I'll still tell you the country from which it came. I asked him how he's able to do that. He said, because sweat and human oils are a manifestation of your food habits. And I know the food habits of the different countries. You know, he said, say for instance, if the jasmine flowers came from the northern part of India, where they are all vegetarians, it will be very pleasant. If it came from the southern part, which is spicy, it will be spicy. If it came from Africa, where they are meat eaters, it will be not so good, you know. So then I realized that the Chinese mandarins were seeking to give their emperor an uncontaminated tea without any human element coming into it, you know. And we made the tea because that gave me justification to make the tea. We made the tea, it became a world story. But however, a Middle Eastern royal house, they said, look, we are interested in the purchase of this tea, provided you allow us to make an analysis. So I didn't see anything wrong with that, you know. So they took a sample. They came here and took a sample, and they got it analyzed at SGS of Switzerland, where it came back with the report that this tea had 10.11% antioxidants, which is the highest naturally occurring antioxidant ingredient in any beverage in the world. Now, my friends from Slovakia, you are on this plantation which has the distinction of making this tea. It is also, I think, the closest plantation in the world to the sea. So you have a double distinction.
That's great. I will quickly translate it, tak v rýchlosti vám to zhrniem. Vlastne, aby tento pán zistil, že čo sa skrýva za tou históriou, tak išiel za tou históriou toho oberania čaju a tak išiel do Francúzska, do nejakej oblasti, kde vyrábajú parfémy, kde bol vlastne nejaký muž, ktorý mal niekoľko druhov jasmínov. A on sa ho opýtal, že prečo má niekoľko druhov tých jasmínov, keď môže mať iba jeden. A na tomu vtedy odpovedal, že môže všetky tie jasmíny zamiešať a ja ti poviem, ktorý je odkiaľ. A zistím to podľa toho, že budem vedieť, že každý ten jeden jasmín oberal iný človek a zanechal na ňom pot a oleje, ktoré vlastne produkuje to ľudské telo, takže podľa toho to bude vedieť rozoznať a tomu vlastne dalo ako keby takú satisfakciu toho, že OK, že ja chcem robiť tento čaj, tak vlastne sa rozhodli, že ten čaj budú robiť.
Anything else?
So you said you producing here around 25 types of the tea in total?
Yeah, we produce about 25 types of black tea. We make a cinnamon tea, ginger tea, oolong tea, and various kinds of black teas, but only one white tea.
Robia viacero druhov tých čajov, viacero druhov čiernych čajov, robia oolong, robia škoricový, robia zázorový čaj, ale robia iba jeden tento biely, ktorý nikde inde na svete vlastne nerobia. So I think this is more than enough for us, and
Yeah.
as I said, it's really big pleasure for us, and thank you very, very much for
It has been a great pleasure and an honor for me to have you here, and I mean, you have come for some demonstration of your ability.
Absolutely. Thank you
to
very much.
impart your ability to our people, and for that we are very grateful to you.
Thanks
Thank
a lot.
you very much.
Ďakujeme pekne. Čaute.